Topics to be covered in this lesson are introduction to sentence, kinds of sentences, declarative, interrogative, imperative and exclamatory. Recognize sentences. So first of all, we will try to understand what exactly is a sentence. So a sentence is a set of words which makes complete sense. Now here we have the most important tagline, which is complete sense. Now it is like you have words. Now a single word has a meaning. For example, what do you see on the screen? You see a table, right? But if I want to tell something about this table, right? Let's say that I want to tell that the table is made up of wood. Or if I want to say that the table has 4 legs, or anything with regards to this table. In that case, the word table alone is not enough. We need more words, right? So basically, when you have group of words, like multiple words or collection of words, and the words are arranged in such a way that it conveys a meaning. So all those words together should make complete sense. Now, this complete sense is very important. Let us look at this example. Right now, what do you see on the screen? You see 2 apples and you see the table. Now, let's say that you are given 3 words. 2 apples and table. So if I tell these 3 words to you, forget about the fact that you are able to see the picture. So if you just close your eyes and if I tell you 2 apples table, what do you understand? Do you get a meaning out of this? No, all you understand is, okay, there are 2 apples, there is a table. But what is the relation between the two? You really do not understand. But if I tell the same thing in a slightly different way, in fact, in a different way, that 2 apples are lying on the table. Now, when we say this, 2 apples are lying on the table. Now, even if you do not see this picture, you would be able to understand what I am trying to say. In fact, you would be able to visualize the scenario that, okay, there are 2 apples which are lying on the table, right? So, how are these 2 things different? Like in the first case, you had words. So, here also you had 1, 2, 3 words. But these group of 3 words didn't make a complete sense. So even though 2 apples and table, each of these words has a meaning, but together the 3 of these did not convey a complete sense. So therefore this is not a sentence. Whereas if you look at this example, you see that this is also a group of words, like 2 apples are lying on the table. Each of these are all words, and all of these words together convey a complete meaning. So they make a complete sense, and that is why this is a sentence. So this is what sentence is. Like it's a group of words such that they convey a complete meaning or a complete sense. So not even incomplete sense. We want a complete meaning to be conveyed by those group of words. Now let us take one more example. So here if you look at the picture, what do you see? You see that there are 2 kids and they are playing. And what are they playing? They are playing chess. Now if I give these words to you, chess, play, kids. So is there a meaning? Is this a meaningful group of words? Definitely not, because we do not understand who is playing what, right? But if the same words are arranged in this order, that kids are playing chess. So like we have used verb, we have used the correct form of verb. In fact, even if you write kids play chess. So this is also a sentence. So it is just that the tenses are different. So I think we already had a video where we had discussed in detail about tenses. So you know what are tenses. They just change the format of the verb and they just change the timing of the action. That's it. But as such, both of these are meaningful group of words. where we say that kids play chess. That means the kids or the children, they are playing chess, right? So these are examples of sentences. So if we still look at one more example, so here we are given a group of words. We see two boys here, and the words which are given here are: him asked I school, if going is he too. So even after looking at this picture, I think you will not be able to guess what it means. So even though this is also a group of words, but they do not make any sense. But if the same thing is written like this, using the same words, right now the words are jumbled up, so we just need to arrange the words properly. I asked him if he is going to school. So now this makes a complete sense, and therefore this is an example of a sentence. Now, here we will look at some of the examples, and we will try to identify which one is a sentence and which one is not. For example, he sings well. Is this a sentence? Yes, of course, because it conveys group of words. It conveys a complete meaning. So this is a sentence. I think that. Now here, I think that. So again, group of words, but if you talk about sense, it doesn't make complete sense, even though it has some partial sense. Like, I think that it somehow conveys an incomplete sense. I mean, we feel as if something is missing at the end of the sentence. I think that. So what do I think? I think what? Right? So the meaning is not complete. So had this sentence been, I think that he will come today. So I think that he will come today. Or I think that this is gonna work. I think that it's going to rain today. Right? So all of these are complete meaning. So they are sentences. But when you say I think that, this conveys incomplete meaning, and therefore this is not a sentence. On the table. So on the table means something which is there on the table. Now on the table as such has a meaning. It's not that it is meaningless. It has a meaning. But it doesn't convey a complete meaning. It doesn't make complete sense. Again, here also it makes incomplete sense. It could just be a part of the sentence. For example, the cat is sitting on the table. I had kept the apples on the table. So on the table could always be a part of a sentence, but yes, this in itself is not a sentence. Our class consists of 30 students. So yes, this has a complete meaning, and therefore this is a sentence. I believe in her thoughts. So this again has a complete meaning and therefore a sentence. What is? Again, so here you see what is. So it's incomplete. So it's a question, but the question is incomplete. So what are we trying to ask? What is what? Right? So this again is not a sentence. However, when you ask, where do you stay? So this has a meaning. It has a complete sense. So this is again a sentence. Now, when we talk about sentences, there are many different categories of sentences. So even the questions, they are also examples of sentences, because they are also nothing but group of words which convey a complete sense. Honesty is the best policy. Yes, of course, this is a sentence because it has a complete meaning. I love to play. Yes, this again has a meaning and hence a sentence. Let's talk about the various kinds of sentences. Now there are 4 kinds of sentences: assertive, interrogative, imperative, and exclamatory. So let us start with assertive sentence. So a sentence that makes a statement is called assertive sentence. Okay, so these are like the simple ones, like where you are not asking a question, or you are not showing some kind of excitement. It is just a simple plain statement. So when you make a statement or when you declare something, like it's a plain statement without any emotion attached, without any questions being asked, without any commands or orders being given to someone. So it's like a plain statement. You are just saying something. So when you just say something, that is always assertive sentence. Now, since these kind of sentences are more about declaring something, so they are also called declarative sentence. So assertive sentences are also called declarative sentence. So let us quickly look at some examples, like the sun rises in the east. So here you are not asking anything, you are not ordering something to anyone, you are not showing some kind of excitement. It is just a simple statement. You're just making a statement that the sun rises in the east. You're saying something simply. So this is an example of assertive sentence. Let's look at one more example. We cannot ask him to leave. So here again, if you see, it is just a statement or it is just a declaration. When you declare something, when you say something. So this falls under that category. So this is also an example of assertive sentence. Let's look at one more example. She is a brave girl. So this is again, I'm declaring that, okay, she is a brave girl. So I'm declaring something. I'm not asking someone, or I'm not, kind of amazed or excited that to know that she's a brave girl. It is just a statement that I'm making that she's a brave girl. So this is also an example of assertive or declarative sentence. Stone walls do not make a prison. So here, this is again a declaration, a statement, something which is maybe known to everyone, or even if not known, it is just a piece of information which is given by me. So it is a statement. So this is an assertive sentence. Let's now talk about the second kind of sentences, that is interrogative sentences. So what are interrogative sentences? A sentence that asks a question is interrogative sentence. So whenever you are asking anything, and that question could be any question under this earth. So any question falls under interrogative sentence. Now when you talk about interrogative sentences or whenever you ask a question, your sentence should always end with a question mark. So this is what we call as the question mark. So only if your sentence ends with a question mark, it is like a complete interrogative sentence. So having a question mark at the end is a must for interrogative sentence. So here are some of the examples, like what's your name? How do you wake up early in the morning? Where do you stay? Why did you do this? When do you plan to reach the airport? Are you coming home? So you see, whenever you have question mark at the end, the way we read out the sentence is also quite different than how we read out a statement. For example, when I have to ask a question, I would ask someone like this: where do you stay? But when I have to answer to the question, I would say, I stay in Bangalore. I would not say, I stay in Bangalore, because I'm not asking that, right? So when you ask a question, the tone you ask also changes, and you always have a question mark at the end. And all the questions, they fall under the category of interrogative sentence. But again, these questions should also have a complete sense. Only then they are sentences, right? So so interrogative sentences are pretty simple and straightforward. Now let's move on to the third category, which is imperative sentence. So a sentence that expresses command is called imperative sentence. Now, what do we mean by command? Well, not only command, it could be commands or requests or orders. So it is basically like when you ask somebody else to do something. So you are basically giving an order, or you are basically giving a command. Or you can even request that person. For example, please get me a glass of water. So that's a request. But still you are asking someone else to do something as per your wish. So you are basically giving an order, but in a polite way. So all these type of sentences, they fall under the category of imperative sentence. Let's look at some example. Send an email. So you are asking someone else to do something. So you are basically giving an order. So this is an imperative sentence. Similarly, if you say close the door. So again, you're giving an order to somebody else to close the door. You are not doing it yourself, or you are not giving it as a statement. This is not a statement. Close the door means you are actually giving an order to somebody else to do this. So to do the action, you're asking somebody else. So that's imperative. Let's look at the next example. Get me a glass of water. So now there are many different ways of saying the same thing. You can say, please get me a glass of water. But all of these would fall under the category of imperative sentence, because you're not making a statement. You're not making a declaration. right? You are asking someone else to do an action for you. So this is again imperative. And now the fourth kind of sentence, that is exclamatory sentence. Now looking at the pictures on the screen itself, you can guess what could be exclamatory sentences. So now in these sentences, we express a lot of excitement and emotion. So you see the stickman dancing, wow. So like it's like a lot of excitement, lot of emotions. Now these emotions could be emotions of like emotions for good as well as for bad. Now exclamatory sentences not only include those sentences which show excitement, but also those sentences which include emotions in terms of either happiness or sadness. So a sentence that expresses a strong feeling is called exclamatory sentence. Now, this strong feeling could be anything. It could be excitement, it could be emotion, both good or bad. So that's exclamatory. Now, let me take a few examples. For example, what a wonderful day. So here, it shows that this is not just a declaration. Like now, in case you want to write the same sentence in the form of an assertive sentence, you would have written it like this: it is a wonderful day today, or today is a wonderful day. So in that case, you are just declaring the fact that it is a wonderful day. But when you say what a wonderful day, that shows that you are kind of amazed to see this wonderful day. Right? So this kind of expresses your feelings. Now again, in case of exclamatory sentences, it is very important that it should end with this symbol, and this is called the exclamation mark. Like how you have question mark for the interrogative sentences, similarly you have exclamation mark for exclamatory sentences. So let's look at a few more examples. Yay, we did it. So it's like this yay shows the kind of excitement or the happiness that you feel because you have done it. So yay, we did it. So that's an example of exclamatory sentence. Hooray, we won the match. So if you would have just told we won the match, so in that case you are basically declaring that we have won the match. But here when you write hooray, it shows your level of excitement, that you're very much excited, you're very much happy that you won the match. Now again, as I said, the emotions could be both for good or bad. Now if you have to say, alas, he is no more. So now this is something which is making you feel sad. And the term alas is expressing that emotion, that sad emotion of yours. So all the exclamatory sentences, they basically give more focus to how you feel. Feelings, emotions, they are all handled by the exclamatory sentences. Hello friends, this video on sentence part 3 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. So now that we have learned about the 4 kinds of sentences, now we will see how do we recognize which sentence is of which kind. For example, you are given a sentence and I ask you to tell me whether it is an imperative sentence or an interrogative or a declarative one. So how would you recognize them? So for that, let us quickly discuss the brief of whatever we have discussed so far. It's like a quick recap. So tip number 1 is wherever you come across a question mark, prior to which you have words like who, how, what, when, etc. So that is definitely going to be an interrogative question, interrogative sentence. So any question being asked, it is interrogative sentence, right? Wherever you have orders, you are ordering something or you are asking somebody to do something. So when you ask someone else to do an action, so basically you're giving an order. Now whether it is a polite order or a rude one, any kind of order would fall under the category of imperative sentence. If you come across the exclamation mark where you say that you are kind of excited or amazed or surprised with something, so those type of sentences would fall under the category of exclamatory sentences. And finally, any simple statement where you are not asking anything, you're just telling something, so they all would fall under the category of assertive or declarative sentences. So these are the 4 categories of sentences that you will come across: questions or orders or exclamations or simple statements. So let us look at this one. Girl, am I tired? So here, what kind of sentence is this? So you have an exclamation mark, and even if you read at the sentence, you see that, it kind of expresses a feeling of tiredness. So this is an exclamatory sentence. Let's look at the next one. Please get me a glass of water. So here, is he making a statement? No, he is asking somebody else to do an action. He is asking somebody else to get him a glass of water. So this is an order, or this is a command. So however, this is a request because you have a please here. So he's kind of politely asking somebody else to do something. So it's a request, and this will fall under the category of imperative sentence. Let's move on to the next one. Neha, try the other number. So here what's happening? Here also, if you see that this person is saying to this girl that Neha, try the other number. So basically, he is asking Neha to do something. So he is asking Neha to do the action. So this is also a command, or this is also an order. So therefore, this is also an example of imperative sentence. The next example, do you want to join me to the party? So here, the lady is asking the man if he wants to join to the party with her. So she's asking something. So again, you have a question mark also. So whenever you ask a question, it is an interrogative sentence. The next one, I could not call my mother yesterday. So am I asking anything? No. Am I surprised that I could not call my mother? No. Am I ordering something? Am I asking someone else to call my mother? No. So what am I doing? I'm just telling that I could not call my mother yesterday. So it is just a statement that I'm making. I'm just telling this. It's just a plain statement. So this is an assertive sentence. How was your maths exam? So if you see here, she is the teacher, and the teacher is asking to the student, how was her maths exam? So it's a question again, and therefore this is an interrogative sentence. How about this one? It was really nice to be with my childhood friends today. So what am I doing here? Am I asking? No. Am I giving a command? No, because I'm not asking anybody else to do anything. Am I surprised or, kind of excited or some sort of feeling of amazed? No. Then I'm just giving a statement that it was really nice to be with my friends today. So this is again assertive sentence. And what about this one? What a match it was. Now, the same sentence, so whenever you come across the exclamatory sentences, you would feel that the exclamatory sentences are also like declarative sentences. But it is just that the exclamatory sentences have a lot more of excitement and emotion. Like you could convey the same sentence in a different form, like it was a great match today. A simple sentence, a simple statement. So that would have been declarative sentence. But if you write the same thing in this fashion, what a match it was, it shows a lot more excitement in you. It shows, you are kind of very much excited about the match. And this becomes an exclamatory sentence. So basically what I'm trying to say is an exclamatory sentence can also be expressed as a declarative sentence. But it is just that when you want to express something with a lot more excitement or a lot more emotion, you generally prefer to use exclamatory sentences rather than declarative sentences. So with this, we have reached towards the end of this lesson on sentences and kinds of sentences. So I think you have learned the various types of sentences, and now you will be able to find out which sentence is of which type. So we will talk more about more complex concepts about sentences in the coming videos. So I hope this video would have helped you. See you all in the next lesson.
Thank you. Please visit examfear.com